All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here tonight. Another good one here. Round of 8 here tonight for the CRL Truck Series presented by Ghost Athletics and CRL Podcast. Qualifying's underway. Look real close right here, and you'll see on the side ticker throughout the race, they'll be yellow. All the chase drivers. Round of 8 here now. You can see right there, Ross Tatum still leading the way into this one with Lane Hostler, Parker Collins, Jacob Grant, Jordan Trask, Ricky Harden. We got Charles Van Scoit and Joshua Altus. Now, which one of those guys tonight is going to tame Indianapolis? And the one guy tonight that actually has some history here, Joshua Altus. We'll have to see what he does. Also, Jacob Grant, a little bit too. A little bit. And now Grant on top spot. If we can hold on to it, Ross Tatum there with him. Joshua said he needs to work on his. The Parker Collins, though, forget about it. Collins up top now. It's going to be a tight one heading into the Final Four. You only got 2 races. Collins in the wall a little bit there. 2 races here. That Final Four. What 4 drivers are going to be racing for a championship? Season 23, Clean Racing League. If we can't get old Jacob up here and get a word with him real quick. Find him down here. High five. Jacob, Joy in the booth, got a copy?
What's going on, Joe?
Not much. Well, man, you're right there so far sitting on the outside of the pole, and you know, tonight it's a real big one. You got into the chase. Now you're in a round of 8. How important is tonight's race for you to look on to maybe getting in that Final Four?
I think I'm only 3 above the cut line, so I'm currently sitting in 4th place. So the goal is to finish above everybody who's behind me in points. If I can get a win, fucking fantastic. And I'd love nothing more than to just come out here and win. I think clean air is going to be important, so I'm going to do my best to try to jump out in front of Parker, but I'll be fine with a solid top 5 finish.
How's the truck feeling on this track tonight?
Feels pretty gripped up right now. The track temp's 107. In practice, it was at 110, and we were setting point ones, and nobody could really break the 52 marker. I was the only truck in practice, and an exception of one other one, who broke the 52 marker, and feels pretty good. In traffic, it's going to be tight. It's going to be hard to drive, so expect the top 5 to just break away, and then everybody else just stringing along.
I'll tell you what, good luck tonight there, Jacob.
Appreciate it.
Here we go. That's Jacob Grant, man. Looking pretty good tonight. It's on the outside. Let's see if we can't get a word in, though, with the pole man right now. Real quick. Parker, Joy in the booth, got a copy?
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Well, man, I tell you right now you put it on pole and looking good during the round of 8. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I really enjoyed Indy. It's kind of like Pocono in a way. Very technical racetrack, and I know Pocono's got a turn replicated after one of the turns in Indy, so feel pretty good. Yeah, glad to put it on pole. Track position is going to be huge all night long, so glad to be starting up front and have some clean air to start the race, and hopefully we can keep it there.
How was the track feeling? I know Jacob was saying might feel a little bit track position might be crucial tonight.
Yeah, track position is going to be key. I mean, dirty air is pretty bad, especially if you're behind the guy who's in the lead. He's just going to pull away from you. So the truck feels more on the tight side. It gets a little loose coming off the short chutes, trying to just have as much speed going down the front and back stretches as you can. But yeah, the dirty air is huge here, just from what we saw in practice. So track position's going to be really important. So I'm glad we're starting up front here.
No doubt about it. Well, good luck. You're in the Only Dads, right?
Yeah.
Right down there to the Only Dads Racing. There you go, Parker Collins, who was trying to buy, see if he can't get that top 5. We just saw Joshua Altus put it up in the 9th place spot, folks. Sit back, relax. It's Indianapolis. You know, this track has got a history, and most notably the Indianapolis 500. NASCAR came here racing the Cup car back in the mid-'90s. And I don't know who out there could tell me who won the very first one, because I know who won the very first one. And I will say this, it was not Dale Earnhardt. Although he has one here. Yeah. Let y'all stew on that one just a little bit. But, man, this track's been around for a long time. The Indianapolis 500, the Indy cars, they fly around this place. They fly around this place about 220 miles an hour. And now, trucks are not going to be doing that tonight, so, yeah. Not going to see that kind of speed. I didn't even see that kind of speed out of the Cup car, even if they had, I don't know if they had, I don't know if they would have non-restricted plates, they could even, that kind of speed. Reason being is you just don't have the banking here. And with those cars, you need banking. Indy car, well, you're just playing it to the ground. Flat. All the way around. Stay tuned. The grid's coming up. We're going green flag. How many folks out there like this track? One of your favorite tracks, maybe a track that you're like, yeah, I don't know about it. It's okay. It brings about some interesting racing. We were talking there, and you know, some of the guys were like, yeah, we're going to see, I think we'll see track position is going to be crucial. And I believe that. I think track position will be. Yeah, this thing plays out. It said here to go green. Good field tonight, 33 machines. Actually, 34 machines. Bad. Ricky Harden, not coming out. You can see he's behind that cutoff line. See who else? Got Charles Van Scoit starting 3rd. And Joshua Altus right there 9th. Those guys need, I'm going to say they're almost going to be right there into that. We need a win. Jordan Trask, he is actually starting back in 18th. So a lot of guys outside looking in. Just talked to Jacob Grant. Let's grid them up. Here tonight. Indianapolis style. Let's look at the grid here real quick. At the ticker for us here. All right, out front, Parker Collins puts it on pole along with Jacob Grant sitting on the outside. Charles Van Scoit there in 3rd. Ross Tatum starting in the 4th. We got Matthew Dyer starting 5th. Eric Anderson, he's up in the 6th place spot. Caleb Smith looking to put a win here tonight, man, starting in 7th. Lane Hostler there in 8th. Got Crank Bell starting up there in the 10th place spot. Jordan Trask sitting in 11th. Scott Simley there in 12th. The outside here in the 13th place spot, you got Seth Bowdy. Danny White starting in the 14th. Bradley Murphy there in 15th. Edmund Kinney 16th. Mike Kelly up in the 17th. Jordan Trask there in 18th. Chris Smith starting 19th. Dusty Martin starting 20th. We got Abraham Ghost 21st. Jeremy Moyer in 22nd. We got Nathan Brown starting in the 23rd spot. Justin Carey starting it out here in 24. Joe Spinelli starting 25th. Bob Stevens there in 26th. Kenyon Jackson starting 27th. We got Frederick Garcia starting 28th. We got Jordan Brockle starting 29th. Joshua Gillian, he's starting in the 30th place spot. Damien LaRock there in 31st. We got David Brzezinski starting to 32nd. 33rd, Ricky Harden. And old Steve Gerber starting 34th. What's up, Joshua? I got you. Sounds good, Joshua. Be a good one here tonight. Parker Collins and company up front. I'm looking forward to this one. Give a good shout out to here tonight. This is going to be interesting. As we got Indianapolis, then we got Phoenix next week. Then we go to the round of 4, which tops us off at Homestead. Race truck pulls us around. Set to go green. Collins and company up front. Grant along with them. Tatum, Van Scoy, Anderson, Dyer, Hostler, Smith, Bell, and Altus. For the top 4, all playoff drivers. It's going to have the work cut out for Altus. Was it Grass? We're back there in the back. And even Harding. Man, got a hole to climb out of tonight. He finishes back in the back. He pretty much going to have a win to get in. Phoenix will be interesting. Can one of these 4 though to win tonight? Go ahead and punch their ticket in that final 4. That means if we have 2 winners, we're either going to have 2 winners punch themselves in, 1 winner punch themselves in, or no winners punch themselves in. They all get pointed. Pace car's in. Here we go. Green flag. That's right, Dusty. Patsy out there pulling for Dusty. Heck yeah. And the green flag waves. We're racing Phoenix style here tonight. Clean racing lead. They'll storm off into turn 1. Whoa, truck gets a little wiggly right there. The 28 machine, that's Matthew Dyer. And hold on to it. Remember that cold tire. Parker Collins, meanwhile, goes out front. Pretty wide back there along with Caleb Smith. That's Walt just trying to patiently see what he can do and bring himself to the field. So you got Smith right now holding the way with Altus right there along with him. Frank Bell and company. Hostler. Everybody's single file. Remember, Jacob said it's going to be tough to pass here. And track position will be crucial. We'll just have to see how crucial it is. As Hostler's right there sitting in 6th. So as of right now, look at those points. The points real quick. See them. Jacob's on the cutoff line. Van Scoy's way back. He's 5 points back, though. Let's see, he's more than 5 points. He's 5 back from that one, 4 there. He's going to need some work. Right now, it'd be Collins, Grant, Tatum, probably Hostler. Everybody's skating it off down that front stretch. Going to do that for a little bit. Meanwhile, up front, Collins is trying to shake Grant from behind. Not much banking at this track. It's not an oval. It's not round. Not D-shaped. A rectangle. Right? It's a rectangle. Got right here, the blink cam. Collins right now holding off Grant. Back here with the Hostler and Company. That's Anderson. Hostler's going to take that spot away from him. This is kind of the passage you're going to see. Kind of one-by-one style passage right back here. Another good one with Scott Simley. You can see a little bit of side-by-side grouping up. Then they're going to get single file as quick as they possibly can. Jordan Trask needs to make some headway to the front. That Fowley right along with him. My question is who's going to be the non-chase driver to get up here and win? If y'all hear squeaking in the background, that's my dog back. Look, folks, we're not in a studio. We're here being live here tonight, just like all the drivers are. Sometimes we have some background excitement going on. Right now, I got the background excitement. The dog's excited. They're whooping for this race right now. Woo, 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 woo. Let the dogs out. That's a good one. Right now, Parker Collins is up front lead, and we're watching this battle run about 14th place spot. That's Fowley, Jordan Trask. That is a chase driver. Trask, so he needs to make his way to the front. Let's go 44. Where's the 44? Let's see where he's at. That Kenyon Jackson. That Kenyon right there. Good looking little truck. Another trace driver right now, though, here in the back who really is in trouble. Ricky Harden. Look in the back, man, they're in third place. Man, wow. He's got to get himself out of a hole. I think he can do it, though. I think he can do it. Meanwhile, it's all Parker Collins leading. Grant behind him. Charles Van Scoit right there along with him. And snaking down that front stretch. I've talked about that a couple times. I don't know how much that really works on iRacing. I think it slows you down more than anything. Van Scoit, Tatum. Everybody single file just taking their time. Joshua Altus up 4 spots, though. Doing what he needs to do. Pick him up, knock him down. I'm along here with old Van. Oh, Jacob up here taking a spot away. Side by side for the lead. Grant's going for it. He'll go to the inside and take it away from Collins. And he gets a little tight coming out of that turn. Collins is right there on his back door. I gets a little bumpy. I like that. We'll bump and run. I got him alongside of him. Love it. Hey, he's trying to push him all the way down there to the wall. Might have hurt Grant more than he did me. Well, that's the battle, man. They're bringing Charles Van Scoit into the mix, too. Heating up top 3. Now, what if these 3 took each other out? That would just not, that wouldn't be disastrous. 2 would make it interesting. Grant right now. If I'm Grant, I know I got a fast truck. Do I sit and push do I push it? I don't know. I just sit here and just kind of go, yeah. Collins right now, still out front this one. Loving it. As Grant moves off just a little bit, Van Scoyt's now able to get up on the back end. And look at Joshua Altus. He said he was, kind of favoring this track. Now, Altus right now could punch his ticket in the Final Four. I don't want to say it's a must-win for him, but it's close. I mean, he's sitting there way down the bottom. I'm going to say it's probably right on that neighborhood of a must-win for that man. What do y'all feel out there? I asked a question earlier, too. Who was the first ever NASCAR Cup winner here at Indy? I know who it is, but I want to see if anybody out there knows who it is. Let me know. Right now, Collins, Grant. Well, they are still duking it out on each other. Van Scoy. We'll see how many NASCAR scholars there is out there. Just a second, folks. So far, so good. It's still Collins out front, but he's got Grant there with him. Had to take that off for a second there, folks. My bad. I was having a little technical problems. And we just got some storms in the area, so hopefully my dogs don't go crazy. Power don't go out on us. Right now, still Collins out front. Van Scoyt there along with him. So no answers out there. No takers on who won the first ever NASCAR Cup race here at Indianapolis. No? I'll give you a hint. It's in a colorful car. How's that? Got Google out there. There you go, Gillen. Yep, Jeff Gordon. I know a lot of people probably say Earnhardt. Earnhardt actually, I think, won the second one, if I'm not mistaken. I know Ernie Irvin won one, and some of the other ones, but yeah, Jeff Gordon was the man. Came back here, won it all. Right now, Parker Collins still out front with Grant there in second. Charles Van Scoyt, man, eating up the back end of Grant. Altus up to fourth. Has moved up 5 spots with Tatum right there in 5th. Lane Osler sitting back in the 6th. We got Eric Anderson. Man, folks, we got 2 more races here in the Clean Racing League, and then we're going to take, it's going to be about a month off. So I don't want anybody, man, to get lose interest. We're going to take about a month off. And then we're going to kick up with some awesome series here at Clean Racing League, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm excited. Stay tuned. Go check out cleanracingleague.com. Also give a like to the sponsors out there, Ghost Athletics, the RL Podcast, Watch them on YouTube and Spotify. Check the links out at cleanracingleague.com to get all the information out there. Hey, if you want to sponsor any of these races or any of the league, hit up Chris Smith. Chris Smith, matter of fact, man, good guy out here. Done a great job with the league right here. He's just back out racing right now, 27. Looks a little slick right now for him. Chris has done an outstanding job. He took over the horns from old Frederick. I like talking about Frederick because he's just a good guy. Look at Ricky Hardin. He's moved up 10 spots. Remember, he started way back in the back. Dead last, he's up to 23rd. He knows the assignment. He says, I got to get to the front, guys. Jordan Trask up 6, too. So some of the chase drivers picking them off one by one, coming to the front. Mike Kelly right there along with it. Mike Kelly, man, I'm going to tell you what, disappointing in the chase for Mike Kelly. He missed the first race, which put him in a hole. So he had to get out there and then had trouble, man, in the second one. And Assembly had trouble. You guys have come in bad fast, but they want to leave this. They would like to leave the season on a high note with some wins. Kelly and Assembly, Curtis Anderson right there. Look at this battle going on. Got Kelly on the inside. It's around about 9th, 10th place spot. Kelly's going to take that spot away. Anderson's going to look on the inside. Going Trask there too. Oh. A little slide job. And who we got? Jordan's going to take that spot away from Eric himself. And Matthew Dyer going to be able to slip up here and take it from Eric. Once you start going backwards, it's tough, man, to get back in line. You can see Eric a little bit tight on the high side there. Hurting that truck just a little bit. Meanwhile, Collins out front in this one. 16 into it, folks. I mean, look at that. It's a sea of yellow for the top, 6 drivers, all chase drivers, and only 4 of them can go. So we'll look at the 2 outside looking in is Charles Van Scoy, Joshua Altus are the 2 outside looking in. Meanwhile, the other ones are 1, 2, 3, 4. Jacob Grant, the man on the bubble. And you heard what his strategy was, which is a sound strategy. Keep all those other guys behind him. That is smart. Very smart racing. So Grant can keep them back there. There you go. Altus right now. Aldous might be the man to watch out for here. He's chewing up the back door. There, Van Scoyton going to look like he's going to take that spot. He's already up 5 spots. It's here, folks. Wow, as he climbs through the ranks. Right along with him, Joshua Altus. Bringing it to 3rd, man. This is what Joshua needs, but I still think he needs a win. I just don't think, especially with Collins, Grant, Tatum, and Hassler being in the top 5, 6. Yeah, I still think he needs a win. And I think Indy is one of his better places. He likes Indy. He said he's looking forward to it. So there we go. Right now, looking strong. You fought the wall, and the wall won. Hey, you know, sometimes it'll get you. The wall just snap out and get you. I've got some pit stops. Had pit stops and Seth Fowler. Pit stop's underway. We're watching these guys up front here. Caleb Smith jumping out of the booth. Done an outstanding job in the trucks. A really good job in the ARCA series when he was there. Car looking strong. Okay, some of the leaders on pit road this week here. When you pit, getting out of the pits. It looks like 20 laps they make it. So he here, 2022. Yeah. He's not saving him. Collins. Yeah, he's not saving. Kind of looking to see if maybe he was saving any. But he's not. Charles Van Scoit on with him there. So more pit stops in the back. So it looks to be between 20 and 22. Maybe 23. So that tells me that you're going to have to... I mean, if you could go 25, you can make it maybe with a 2-stop. I think that might be what Collins is thinking. Can we go 25 laps? Gillian? Buckle? Oh, can we go 25 laps? And these guys do it. Islands right now, out front, Van Scoit behind them. From what I'm seeing, it looks like they can. Tatum and Hostler. We'll have to see. Also out front, because you can see pretty much the whole top 19 of you have to make a pit stop. What do y'all think the pit cycle is out there, Gillian, Brockle? What I'm seeing right now, they can go 25. And it's 22. This is a big track. It's 2.5 miles. Right. Speedway. But it's flat. Well, Collins on pit road. So they're right there on the limit of going 2 stops. They might need a caution. The way this race is going, it looks like it's caution free. Puts Ross Tatum out front right now. Van Scoit go along with him with Hostler, Curtis, Emily, Kelly, Grass, Dyer, Ghost, Kenny. Good old Kenny. Well, Brock, hey Brock, is your race over with, man? I mean, are you done? How bad is the damage? Wall ride. Got more pit stop. Ghost on pit road. More top followers coming in. Bring old Brocco up here. Get a word with him. Jordan, go ahead and move that copy.
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, man, I tell you what, I know I saw your little message out there, and just unfortunate. I didn't see what happened, though. I mean, maybe you can kind of tell us what happened. Oh, there nothing flashed up on my radar over here, so that's why I didn't know you hit the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I was having some trouble anyway. I'm not really good here at Indy, but kind of got right there behind, I believe it was Spinelli. Kind of got a little tight, and it pushed up into the wall just a little bit further than it would have if I was solo. And I mean, it was getting a little tricky there for me at the end, and I just didn't expect it to get a little bit more tight, and just pushed right up into the wall and gave me 6 minutes of optional, and I was just kind of screwed there.
Man, yeah, I hate that on that one. But, you know, we were talking about it earlier. You know, Jacob came up and he said these trucks really are going to get tight, and the dirty air really going to affect them. Is that what you're seeing tonight?
Yeah, so far, I noticed for me, and I was a little loose on my own coming out of 3. I don't know if it was just me getting to the gas too hard or too soon, but I did notice as soon as you got right to the bumper of somebody, it completely changed the balance of the truck. You got a little tight there, and that's essentially what happened to me behind Spinelli. Was got tight, pushed right up into the wall, and I mean, once you get 6 minutes of damage here, and you know, end up essentially 6 laps down, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, that's why they call it clean racing league. Really tough one here. We'll see a lot of cautions now. What do you think about these pit strategies going on out here? You know, you got some guys coming in around 18 laps, 20 laps, 21, and now you got the front runners. And I said around 25, 26. You got Tatum in. So, what do you think about that?
Well, that's kind of what I love about, you know, the clean racing league in general is, you know, we see guys try a bunch of different strategies, especially, you know, now being in the playoffs and everything, these guys really going for broke. Tires are going to be super important, trying to keep it underneath you. You know, try to maybe grab a little bit of a draft from somebody, save a little. It's not really, you know, a fuel dominant track where you can save a ton behind somebody, but you're trying to save what you can where you can, you know, kind of keep the tires clean. It's going to get you, you know, pretty solid finish here.
Gotta ask you, like, you got Jacob Grant out there. He pitted at lap 19. You just saw Tatum right there pitting at lap 25. And I know y'all speak of tires, and I know y'all listen to me up here. And just unfortunately, there's not many tracks on iRacing that new tires make a huge difference. I mean, sure, they make a difference, but they don't make enough difference if you get too far back. So right now, there's about a 16-second gap between Tatum and Jacob. If you've got about 20 or 25 laps to go, I just thought if he's going to have time to make that gap up. So I'm looking at Grant here. My question is on Grant's end. It looks like Tatum's taking the 2 stop. Grant's going to have to almost go. He's going to be close to that 3.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone in my recent memory, if anyone knows what they're doing strategy-wise, Jacob Grant is a strategist racer, you know, a strategist, if you will. And, you know, he goes for broke. He tries to, you know, kind of pull off whatever he can, where he can, when he can. And if it falls his way, it certainly will. I mean, he's just talented. And, I mean, he's gonna be, you know, pushing for time, like you said. But I think if a couple of these guys get a little racy, you know, you see some of those guys maybe get into each other, and if he catches a caution, might actually help him in his favor. But I mean, because you know, with the clean racing league, you can't really bank on that strategy a ton. You know, catching a caution, but it does happen. It does happen.
Yeah. You know, I've said that. It's funny you bring that up. I know me and Altus have had conversations like that, and I've said, you know, the one strategy that coming into these races, if I was racing, the one thing I would do is I would base my pit stops just like what you said, that there's not going to be a caution in this race. Okay, if there is one, great. Hey, you know, hallelujah. It helps out. But, yeah, you're right. You know, it's just, I'm doing the math here in my head real quick. You know, at 19, they went 20, 25, 20, it's like 25 laps, 26 laps. Even at 26, that puts him around 44, 45, that 44, 45. If he pushes it to the limit this next time, that's still almost 30 laps. Since you're in the pits, can you go 30 laps on this track?
Well, okay, I don't know how long the engine's been running on this 84 truck since I got out of it, but I mean I'm showing 23.8 to the good now, or to the 23.8 laps sitting in the pits. So I mean stretching 5 laps of fuel. I mean that's a crap ton of fuel. I mean that's. I'm trying to do quick math, and I'm terrible with math. I was trying to do 5 times 2.5, and 5 times 10, or 5 times 2 is 10. So I mean that's 10 miles there, plus the extra half mile for each of those. So you're looking at like what, 12 and a half miles if my math is anywhere near what it needs to be.
Yeah, and I'm with you there too, because I was questioning a little bit like how early, and I figured, okay, well maybe that's 20 laps is the norm here, and I saw the top guys there, Tatum and all those guys, keep going and going around. So, oh man, if they can go 25, they can do 2-stop race here, and I think that was the mark, because you see that a lot in this league, two-stop style races. Granted, as long as there's no caution, which you never know it is in an Indy, but right now you see Parker Collins running him down. And we were just talking about, tires. It all depends on how close he is. Yeah, Collins is there. He ran as last time a 53.79 to 54.18. Like he's pretty much going to go right on by him. Joshua Altus is the other one who pitted at lap 19. So, now Altus, to me though, Altus is in a position of, I got really nothing to lose at this point. He comes in here pretty much at the bottom of the cutoff on the round of 8. So I think Jacob has the most to lose and the cutoff on the 4. Altus has the most to gain if it works out in his favor.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where, Jacob could just be, playing the conservative, and maybe you see somebody out there. I'm not sure, because I was in the car or, dealing with just the aftermath of it. I'm not sure who came down pit road first, whether it was Altus or Grant, but if Altus was the first one to go, I would imagine that Grant's seeing that, knowing Altus is a racer as well, which Altus, no slouch whatsoever as far as a racer. One of the leagues I cover on Tuesday nights, he was a part-time guy. Now he's got 3-4 wins in the league, so very good at strategy and pulling off wins. So if he may have seen Altus or heard that Altus was going to pit, quick rearrange in your plans to duck down under and kind of follow in his suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's interesting, like say, to the top. Actually, the top 5 right now. Well, we got to go a little further on back, all the way back to Tatum. The top 8 all pitted way before that 25 mark. So Tatum was the only one. Along with, he did bring down Lane Hostler, who's another one, and along with Ricky Harden. But Ricky Harden right now, he needs it, which this could be, if this works out, like what we're talking, this could be really crucial for him. They're starting in the back like he is. But that top, I'm like you, though, it's saving that much fuel. Indy can be a fuel mileage style race. It's almost got that auto club effect to it. And then, again, unless we see a caution. I mean, hey, Jordan, that could happen. If we see a caution, then it throws all this talk out the window. Guys are definitely going to come down then. But if it goes green, it's going to be interesting.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sitting here, I'm trying to look at times. I saw that, Grant was running somewhat significantly slower times, and I'd imagine that's probably by design. Last time by 54.87 from what I'm seeing, and then Collins 54.10. Yeah, 54.11. So I mean, it could be at the point where Grant's trying to save all he can to maybe push it to that 30 lap run here. It'd put him at lap 49/50. And then give a 25 lap to the end. I mean, it's still, like you said, it's such a long, it's a long run there to try to, pull off.
Yeah, I'm kind of now. I've been fooled many a time before, Jordan. I mean, plenty of times.
You and myself both.
I mean, I'll sit up here and I'll talk about fuel, and then the next thing I know, some guy just blows it out the water and he stays out there for 30 laps or so or whatever. And I'm like, where did that come from? We didn't see that early. I bring that up, but it's interesting what you just said in your truck. I guess it's because helps us out with a telltale of what you've got. Because sometimes we don't see the card being played on the first lap. Could they go 28, 30 laps, but yet they're going to pit at 25, 24, just to make it look like they're doing a two stop, but they still got a little bit in the tank just in case something happens.
Yeah, someone that, when it comes to strategy, I've seen him a number of times in various leagues as well as this one here. Someone that I would, follow as far as strategy goes is the 79 of Jordan Trask. That man, I've seen him stretch a fuel run to where he has 0.1 to 0.2 coming across the start-finish line to finish the race. And, I mean, I'm not sure what lap he came down.
24. So he's not bad off. He's in a 24. He's in lap 24.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the
more
guy
realistic,
that I would look for.
of saving, I mean.
That man right there, I've seen him save so much that I'd be sitting in the booth scratching my head like, how? It just doesn't make sense.
Ghost is another one here in this league. I've seen him do that many a times. He pitted lap 23 also. We come out here and stretch him. I'm sitting there scratching my head like, where's he getting that from? Holy cow. Wow, but yeah, I got to give a shout out to the man right now. He's up 17 spots in 16th place. He started dead last. That's Ricky Hardin. And the reason I bring this up here, folks, I'm going to flash up on the screen, because the top 8 right now, Ricky Hardin sits 6 on coming into this round of 8. He's not far off of where Jordan Trask is. Actually, he's right behind him right now on the track. But he's only 4 points back from Trask, which is Trask is only 3 points back from Grant. So that's where this is going to be crucial, is what we're talking about here, Jordan, is because Hardin pitted at lap 25. And he's pretty much going with the two-stop style race. If Grant can't make this 2 stops, Grant said himself earlier, this was his exact words before the race, my goal is to keep those guys behind me. As long as they're behind me, I'm okay. The problem is, though, if he has to pit late, this goes green, obviously, and he has to pit late, this guy's going to leapfrog him.
Yeah, it's not really a track you can, quick pit, get a splash, and go, because these guys are going to come off turn 4, with a head full of steam, go flying past you. And, yeah, like you said, I don't get the short pit or undercut, if you will, of, coming at lap 19 to 20. 20 even seems pushing it.
They know something we don't know.
And that's that's kind of where I draw it up. I finish in the back half of the field for a reason. I don't know how to save tires, and I don't know how to make a fuel tank magically have an extra lap or 2. And I mean here, even in lap 23, with Trask coming down 23, you still got to find a way to save an extra 2 to 4 laps to get yourself to that lap 50, lap 52 threshold, to essentially be good to the go, or half a lap short to the finish, given my info saying 23.8, so you're looking at 24 and a half maybe. So you kind of want to try to get to lap 50 going to 51, or 51 going to lap 52.
Now,
I think that's the magic number.
By pitting at lap 19, because obviously Parker Collins is on pit road. So this is what I was about to talk about here. Short pitting this thing, get those tires, get the fuel. You see Caleb coming in with him, and Parker actually pitted on lap 22. So this brings up that conversation of them two out front at 19. They're going to have to make another pit. But maybe short pitting this so that you have enough time, because this is one of these tracks where you're going to have time to catch up. I mean, if you get too far back, it kind of neutralizes those tires that you've got. It's that auto club effect is what I like calling it. At some point, you just don't have enough time to make it back to the front.
Yeah, because then, I mean, you end up pushing, you know, a little bit harder than what the equipment may have for you, or, you know, kind of
But
using
even-
up your stuff, and you
Even
kind of
this
cut
pit
yourself
stop
short.
here, Jordan, my bad. Even this pit stop here for Collins, which still
I mean, yeah,
puts
we're-
him under the 25 mark.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lap, what, he's like 39, going to 40 next time by, so
Yeah.
evidently, maybe everyone's kind of realizing 23, 24 is the max you can really get out of it.
There goes
And
Danny
just
White.
instead of, you know, trying to break it up into two, you have a short pit and then a shorter pit, and then well, now, I mean, they went 20, 21, 20.
Yeah, they went
Yeah, it's,
20. They went 20. Yeah, Jordan, Justin Curtis up front. Mike Kelly went 23. Ross Tatum's the only one up front right there, sitting in fifth, who went 25. Now Charles Van Scoit, he did 24, so I think he could probably save that lap if he wanted to. Just he actually the leader on pit road. So this actually is what we've been talking about. This right here, you know, and now it's going to be a question of when does he make that last pit? Because we know he cannot make it from this point on.
Right, and
You got to
know,
go,
that's-
what, 27 laps or so?
And that's my thinking with the, you know, the guys who stayed out to 23, 24, you know, I mean, he might be pushing it to try to make it a two-stopper, but
Let's see.
I think maybe what does the tire differential,
Right,
you know,
yeah,
need?
yeah. That's
You
what
know,
I'm about to bring up here, Jordan. What I'm going to see when Jacob comes out, and then I'm going to look at Ross here. One, I'm looking at the gap, too, because we know we got almost 25, 26 laps, 27 laps to go in the race. I'm with you on that one. And unless we're talking, where is Jacob right now? He is back here. Well, I mean, he's a solid 34 seconds back. He's going to have to make up 2 or 3 seconds a lap just to get it back to 20, 26, 27 to go on Ross Tatum. So this is what I was talking about. If he's going to need 2 seconds a lap right off the bat with those new tires.
Yeah, and then my thing is if Ross does push it to a two-stopper, do you have enough time? Because, he's going to be coming down around, what would it be, lap 50, so he'd be like the 50 or beyond, so he's going to have about 25 to 24, 23 laps on those tires by the end of this thing, as to where, we know that Grant and Parker Collins are going to kind of have to come down around laps 60, 62, 63, somewhere in there.
Do they take tires?
If-
I don't think they do.
But if you don't, in my opinion, if you don't, you're going to have almost 50 lap old tires. I mean, you figure you're here at, or 30, correction, wrong math. It's about 35 lap old tires.
Yeah.
So it's almost like
Well, it's
you're
a
kind of
seesaw
banking
game,
on,
ain't it?
right? You're kind of banking on, Tatum and these guys trying to run it out, 25 lap old tires, and you can run them down in say 15 laps.
Yeah, I'm interested to see here. I mean, obviously, we can't take for granted these guys have speed out here. Justin Curtis still out there. Now, he pitted at lap 23. Obviously, he could stay out here a little bit longer. He's got Ross Tatum right there behind him. Charles Van Scoit pitted at lap 24. Ghost at 23. Dyer at 24. So, all right, let's see. Right now, last lap was at 58 on Tatum's end. And let's see what Grant, he put a 53.37. So, yeah, he's in around about that 2 second, second 3/4 somewhere mark.
So I'm starting to kind of lean that maybe it's not entirely out of the question to, have a 15 lap run on tires and run that car down. But I think you have to be no more than, say, 25 seconds or so off the tail end of that car, or that truck coming to pit road
I think he will be.
Otherwise,
He's at 29 right
coming
now.
off pit road, or coming off pit road, I should say. Because if you're any more than that, 2 seconds a lap, you're going to be just short. And you know, catching somebody is one thing. Getting around them is a completely different thing. Because you know as well as I do, you know, last 5 or so laps, it don't matter how much faster you are than somebody. They will make that car 4 or 5 lanes wide and use up every bit of the track just to, you know, cut off your run so that you have to redevelop that run. Especially here, you know, if you have to lift a little bit too extra or a little bit too much, getting to the straightaways, it completely dogs that truck down to where, you know, you've got to basically regain all that momentum back into turn 1 or back into turn 3, wherever it may be. And, you know, by then that guy's already pulled half a second on you.
Let's recap here for folks out here. We got Ross Tatum out front. He pitted at lap 25. We know he's going to have to pit again here, and it's coming up pretty soon. Right now he's got a steady lead. Charles Manscoid out there too. Pitted at lap 24. We got Matthew Dyer sitting third there. He pitted at lap 24. Hayne Hostler. So we've got 3 of the chase drivers. Ricky Hardin, like I said, now that's a guy who could definitely benefit from this. Right there in 5th, who did pit at lap 25, so he's looking at that two-stop race. But it's Jacob Grant we're looking at back here, who is moving up through the field now, still 27 seconds back. And, you know, we're up here kind of, you know, drilling our brain in with some math and so forth, folks. Grant at this point, we feel like he's going to have to make a pit stop. And there's either going to be 1 or 2 things he's going to have to do on that pit stop. He's either going for a flash and go, which will make his pit stop short and might get him out front of Ross Tatum. The problem is with that is if he does it and Tatum takes tires, which Tatum is pretty much going to have to, he's going to do a full pit stop, then that might be too much of an advantage on Tatum's end, and he'll run him down. If there's enough time left on the racetrack, I'm going to feel like if Grant can push this thing to, I don't know, 6, 7 to go, maybe he can hold off Tatum long enough. If it's a 15 to go, that's where it's kind of getting a little sketchy. I feel like, you know, Jordan, I think that's going to be the magic number. Where does Tatum pit? How far back he is? When does Grant take the pit? What does he do? And then how far back is Tatum after that pit on Grant? Obviously, if Tatum comes out right behind him, then forget about it. Those tires are just going to blow right by him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also looking here, you know, I believe I saw Ghost, his name popped up as pitting. I think Judson as well. So I wonder if those are some of the guys. I don't know what their first stops were. I don't have that. 24. So, yeah, I wonder if those guys there are starting to look at this and think to themselves, you know, there's no way I can make it on a 2-stopper. You know, they come down a little short, you know, kind of eat the, you know, kind of take the bullet there for that. And then maybe try to watch where Grant comes down for his final stop and, you know, come down with him and just kind of get back on the same schedule as him and try to, you know, squeak out whatever you can.
Well, interesting here, Jordan.
As where you're Tatum, you kind of just have to live with it.
I tell you what, this is interesting here. You bring that up. We're riding along here with Charles Van Scoy, who was coming on pit road. But before he came on pit road, he was clutching that machine. He pitted at lap 24. Jordan Trask is the only one up here in the top 5 who pitted at lap 24. Right on board here and see, yep, he's actually clutching in the turns also. Because he is trying to make this thing stretch long enough to make it to that one more pit stop. So that's curious. Let's see what Ross Tatum is doing real quick. Is he actually saving? I mean, he went well into 25. I don't think he should, but no, he's not. He's actually still on the hammer going through the turns.
Yeah, yeah, there is no slowdown for that 91 right now. And I'd imagine right here he's going to start thinking about pitting. I could be wrong. And yep, here he comes now. He's going to come down here at pretty much lap 50. So
now
he's going to be right on the edge.
Grant was able to get it down to 20 seconds. Is he got enough to go by him? How far ahead of him is he going to be? That's see, this is the crucialness right here. How far ahead? I don't know. I mean, I'm at a loss here. I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think for Grant, you know, run this thing out, get it as far out ahead as you can. You know, don't necessarily watch it, because the more you watch that time, the more in your head you're going to be like, I need more, I need more, I need more. And that's when you make that mental mistake and, you know, maybe go in the corner a little bit too far and, you know, you overdrive the corner or you underdrive a corner. But if he just hits his marks, runs his line, finds, you know, what gets him the most amount of speed throughout the corners and, you know, kind of plan where he wants to take this final stop. And, you know, just hit them, just run your own race within this race. That's the smartest thing you could do is just
absolutely.
Nobody else is on the track.
Pit road, by the way. He was the last one that had pitted on lap 25, so he was able to run this thing, what, 26, 27. That's close to where Grant needs to get. So is there a possibility that Grant could go all the way? That's 30. That's 20. He's got to go 29 laps, actually. If my math's right, wait a minute. Let's see. 25.
Yeah, I mean, it would be about 29 laps.
My bad.
Yeah.
Actually, it's excuse me, it's more. He's got to go 30.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, he put it at 41.
Oh, yeah, he's got to go 30. He'd have to go 34
no
laps.
way.
So, yeah, no.
My bad. I was getting happy there, but I thought he could go all the way.
I think if you're going to pay attention to where Tatum is, too, I think one thing you could look at is kind of have an idea where you want to pit as far as number wise. You know, you're entered into basically you can make it from here. You're getting you're past that 25 lap point. You know, he can certainly make it to the end as soon as he pits. How much time do you need to go down pit road, get a full stop if a full stop is what you want?
Now 53, 51 is the. I love bringing that number up too, and that's a good one you brought there, Jordan. Is because a lot of people don't get, even in real racing, they don't bring that up a lot. I don't know why the announcers and all that don't ever bring those up. Everybody talks about the pit stop time. Obviously, it's 14, 15 second pit stops normal, but it's that total pit time. The time on pit road, in the pit box, and off pit road. I have seen many of races won and lost just by that number alone, and you just brought that up because Grant's last one total time was a 51.93 to Tatum's 53.05. So Tatum actually lost some time on pit road.
Yeah, so for Grant, I think my number, which Tatum is within that number right now, and again, I'm not a good racer in any means, in my opinion, but
me either. That's one
20, and that's exactly where I transitioned. I'm right there with you. I think within 26 seconds of my truck is where I would think, okay, it takes me 52 seconds. I can get 2 seconds a lap.
He's 25 behind him, by the way.
I would find that middle, so like right about now, maybe I would come down. I mean, I don't know if the tire advantage your way would be that, drastic.
Tatum last time, unless he got in the traffic there, actually is not as fast as Grant. Now he could be saving a little bit. We don't know. But Grant's time was a 54.75, and Tatum's was a 53.83. So it wasn't even a second difference. Yeah, he's faster, but maybe Tatum's like, hey, look, I'm going to cruise a little bit. You know, Grant's got a pit. I'm in the good.
Yeah, and certainly, I mean, you don't want to get into that.
Wait a minute, we don't want to see that. Ross Tatum just blinked. Ross Tatum just blinked out.
That's no bueno. So
wow.
That changes everything.
That's crucial there, Jordan. Are you kidding me? I mean, this right here. Oh, this would be a crusher on Tatum's end. Yeah, he just went a lap down, folks. Ross Tatum is out of this race. Are you kidding? We have been sitting up here talking about this thing, and this changes the whole scope now, the whole entire race. I mean, it's still going to be a thriller either way.
I mean,
But
not
are
only
you
does it change
kidding
the
me,
race,
Jordan?
it
Wow.
changes playoffs too. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
that's gonna be huge.
man, you know what? My mouth just fell to the floor. I don't know what to say on that one because, wow, he's back in 30th now. And 30th with the way that this chase is going, folks, will lay it out for you. Parker Collins out front, Jacob Grant. I'll get it out. Jacob Grant sitting in second. Altus in third. That's 3 chase drivers. One of them outside looking in, the final 4, that is. And then you've got, Curtis, and then we've got Charles Van Scoyton in ninth. Ricky Hardin, I said, he's right there. This is huge for Ricky Hardin, by the way, outside looking in. But, wow. Now, it still brings up that topic of, yes, I think Grant's still going to have to pit. I think Altus is. I think that whole top 4 are still going to have to pit. So it'll be a matter with her, but the talk now, man, Jordan, I didn't see that one coming. Ross Tatum,
No,
he's got to be throwing his wheel at the screen by now.
Yeah, and I'm just now seeing the finally the Ross Tatum connection dropped situation there, and dropped his packets on the track.
You know, folks, we are in a virtual world. That's. Hey, look, even on the broadcast side, I've had things happen, I was saying earlier, we had some storms in the area. I don't know, it can knock power out, you never know, but that is, man, I'm going to tell you what, Jordan, that right there, wow.
I mean, at this point, he has I believe a 23-point advantage over these guys, but, finishing 30th, anyone that finishes 7th or above is going to hop over you in the points depending on how far out of that top 4 they are.
He's 23.
So
he's 23. He's 23
if,
ahead of Lane. He's which Lane is 16 ahead of Parker. If I'm reading this right, how it is, I got it on the screen up here. Then 13 ahead of Collins, 13 ahead of Jacob, 3 ahead of Jordan, or Jacob's 3 ahead of Jordan. Jordan's 3 ahead of Harding, I believe, and then I guess that's how it reads that.
So my understanding would be that Ross Tatum is 23 ahead of the cut line, so he would be 26 points ahead of Jordan Trask, who's 3 under the. That's at least that's how if it's going based off
I got
the real world. So
if that's the case, then wow.
In light of this, if Trask can find some way, some shape or form to get up to 4th, he would essentially knock Ross Tatum out of the top 4 right now. So, it's one of those things.
What about
now
Ricky
Trask
Hardin?
seeing that even Hardin as well. Hardin would need to be in about 3rd because I believe Tatum's going to finish here in 30th unless he can get back in here.
It's on pit road, by the way.
Jump over some people. Grant making his stop here at 59.
Remember, though, we talked about, but remember Ricky Hardin pitted on lap 50. I don't think we're going to see him in.
No, I don't think we'll. I think unless we get a caution and he has the ability to come down from one of those higher spots, we're not going to see him.
Jordan Trask pitted at lap 50. So we're talking about those outside looking in guys, and with Ross Tatum with the trouble. I mean, are you kidding? We talk about Ross Tatum because he's done something in this league that is just unheard of. But wouldn't it be something, man, that just a disconnect take you out of a chance to go for the 3-peat? His first season here, won a championship. Second season here, won a championship. Third season, he's right there on the cup sub, trying to get in the Final 4, but then this happened, disaster. It almost puts him in a must-win next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, or just one of those, has to be just a couple spots ahead of, whoever's right there in front or right behind it or right in front of him, I should say. So, it could be a number of things could happen here. Just looking at it here, if Hardin can, find 3rd place, if he could find 3rd, that'll put him essentially tied with Tatum,
But Charles
and then
Van
you know
Scoy,
Trask finding him out his way up there too.
yeah, Charles Van Scoy pitted at lap 49. He is clutching, by the way, there, Jordan. He's saving. I don't think Van Scoy's planning to come in, and this might be crucial. I mean, he might not be the winning move of the race, but it could get him a solid top 10 out of here.
And I mean, with Tatum's situation, the top 10 here puts you a little bit closer to that, you know, that cutoff there. It looks like Ghost is actually making a stop here at lap 60.
Harding in that third place,
which will put him tied, in theory, tied with Tatum. If my math I'm doing is correct.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Actually, Harding's saving a little bit too. Harding just actually clutched right there. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, you never know if you're close or not. So.
And Hardin just got by Murphy, so that would put him 1 point over.
Imagine Ricky Hardin winning this race.
Oh, that would be insane.
From last place.
Last to first.
I mean, from last. Yeah, you're right. He went from last place, folks. He's 31 positions up right now. Even if you don't win this race, holy cow. I mean, I don't know why he had to start in the back. He didn't make a qualifying run. I don't know if there's a penalty involved or anything like that. But maybe you know the inside of it. But he's going to be the leader here in just a second.
Here comes Curtis. Yeah, I was just about to say. I was like, Curtis came down on 46. So I was like, maybe he'll have to make another stop. And there he is.
And I'm looking at lap times here, Jordan. You know, because Lane Hostler pitted at 51. And I'm looking at that because I'm looking to see who might be as fast as Ricky. They all ran 54.93 Harding that time. The Lane Hostler, he ran a 55.11, so they're running comparable times. And let me look at Joshua Alters, who pitted at lap 58. That's more of a telltale sign. The problem is Joshua Alters right now is 18 seconds back, and time is running out. Yes, he ran a 53.57 to a 93. He's a little over a second faster than Harding. The problem is you only got 13 laps and 18 seconds. It's that time. Math don't math up.
The math ain't mathing.
That's it. Yeah. So, you know, Jordan. I mean, Altus can probably get back in that top 10, which he needs. I mean, I'm in shock here. Folks, blown away. I mean, can Ricky Hardin pull this thing off? I mean, Charles Van Scoy's right there behind him. Bradley Murphy sitting up there third. Good run by Bradley Murphy, by the way. He's up 12 spots. Can give a shout out to him. He might not be one of the chase drivers, but a definitely good one. There with Jeremy Moyer. Now, Moyer pitted at lap 46. Murphy pitted at 42. I got a feeling those two guys are going to have to pit.
Yeah, Murphy, unless he's in full clutch through the corner and I mean, light throttle. Who knows? But now the
light,
23.
But he's not clutching the corners, is he?
Yeah, it looks like the 23 here now closed in on the 3 here at the front. It looks like Murphy now coming down pit road as well.
Yep.
So that answers that question. But now, I mean, the 23 and 3 right here, they're going to be
well, both of these guys outside cut looking in. Okay, that's the scenario. So this is a race between these two. I mean, it's a heck of a finish between either one of them. But whoever wins gets that automatic in to the final 4. Okay, so you know Charles Van Scoy, if he has enough fuel, if he saved enough, he's going to pressure Hardin into not saving because they've both been saving fuel. And I just think Ricky might have a little bit of advantage, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, all I know is going into, you know, next week, regardless of if Ricky wins this or Charles wins this, it's going to be a tight point situation there at the cut line.
It will.
And, I mean, that just shows you how quick things can change, you know, quick, fast, and in a hurry, man.
You know, and Ross Tatum, I mean, folks, just to give you, if you just tuned in, this whole race is just turned upside down. I got Jordan Brocco, unfortunately, up here. Had an incident early in the race. He's, you know, kind enough to stick up here in the booth with us, do this one. And we've been talking fuel strategies because it's coming down to a fuel mileage race. But the big talk is Ross Tatum coming in here, top man on the round of 8. He's got 23 points to the cutoff line, around 23, 26 points, but a disconnect, and he's back in 32nd spot right now, folks. And you're looking at Ricky Harding, who started dead last. Let me repeat that again, because I don't think I've seen that in a while. I mean, I've seen some guys come to left down Talladega and all, but I don't know if I've seen it dead last in Indianapolis. Dead last. He is leading this race. And if he wins, he punches his ticket into the round of 4 off an amazing fuel strategy style race.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things that you just kind of throw a, what's the Italian thing? You throw the spaghetti at the wall to see if it
Meatball.
sticks. You know, essentially, you just
or noodle.
the noodle, yeah. So he just kind of took his strategy, threw it against the wall, and hope it stuck. And I mean, at this current moment, it's certainly sticking.
But here's another thing, though. We can't rule out, because Parker Collins has enough time. Remember, he pitted late last, around lap 60. He does have. Remember, he was the one that we were talking about earlier. He does have enough time. I think it was 9 to go to run down Ricky Harding.
Yeah, I mean, last time by, he was a full second faster. So
he's only 2.8 back. But still,
it's one of those things.
Even if Collins wins this thing, Ricky Harding and Charles Van Scoy both are going to, I'm going to almost say, like what you said, drop Ross Tatum almost out of the top 4.
Yeah, and it's only going to separate them by 1 to 2 points. So,
yes.
I mean, it's going to be one of those things that, he could, Tatum could still finish 1 spot in front of Harden and not make the play or not make the Final 4. So it's going to be one of those.
On my internet provider this week.
Just kind of look what y'all did.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, because this posed a huge was wrench in the things, or needle in a haystack. But yeah, I feel like it. Forgot about all the talk. I forgot about Collins. Remember, because we was talking about Collins actually before with the Grant out there, and Jacob Grant, even he's back there, been able to bounce back tonight. He's just a little bit too far back with the amount of laps. He's 11 seconds back. Collins, but remember, because I think it was going to be between whether or not Collins and then obviously could Tatum stay out the whole entire distance here. So yeah, I think Collins is going to pass him. He's going to go around Charles Van right here.
It seems like the 23 is not really going to put up much of a fight there. Just kind of seeing where things are right now. I mean, it's you're still going to have a solid finish, so
Absolutely.
You don't want to kind of put yourself in a bad position and get yourself spun around and take for what that kind of gift, I would almost say, that the Ross Tatum's internet decided to say, here you go.
Yeah.
You don't want to throw that away necessarily, so you kind of just let Parker have it. Harden, on the other hand, Harden might be a little bit more stingy here, which, I mean, it's for the race lead. You might as well just a little tight there for the 3.
Yeah, he's just going to let him go. He knows those tires. He knows Collins got such newer tires. I mean, we're talking about lap 60 to lap 50 style tires there, and you can just see it. You see Harding now. Now, the reason probably Charles Van has not been able to pull up is, remember, he pitted at lap 49. He had to save a lot more fuel than Harding and those guys did in front. So I think at this point, Charles Van Scoy right now, where he's at in third, and where Harding is right now, this is going to turn the points championship upside down. It's going to be anybody's race going into those Final 4. And going into Phoenix next week to see who gets that Final 4 going into Homestead.
Yeah, and I'm trying to... My phone decided to say don't look at the points anymore. Trying to do my quick math, with Charles, if he does hang on to this 3rd place spot, that would put him one spot behind, I believe, behind Tatum. Harden, if he finishes P2, that would put him one over Ross Tatum. Trask, I know he's sitting in 6th. That would put him roughly 2 behind Tatum. And then Altus being in 8th, that's going to put him right around, about 6 behind. So I mean, you're going to be everyone's going to be within a single digit of each other right there to that cutoff line.
And I was
just gonna say it's gonna be kind of chaotic there.
Yeah, and I was actually, I was talking about Altus before. I was like, it's got almost going to be, if he doesn't finish this race well, it's almost going to be a must-win for him at Phoenix. Now, it's really not going into Phoenix with a must-win. He might only need about 5 or 6 positions in front of Tatum. By saying that, I mean, we are talking about Ross Tatum because, again, some things you can't control, like obviously the disconnect, the internet, stuff like that, power outages and whatnot. But they are some things that Tatum does well, and that's fast on the track.
And that, I've been passed by him, several times in a single race to where the point where I look at my speedometer or my tachometer, I'm like, is this thing working? Like, kind of flick you kind of flick the dash a little bit. You're like, hey, like you're working the way you're supposed to, right? But yeah, no, Tatum is a class racer, class person in general.
Yeah.
So I mean, he knows how to get it done, and I mean, I would, especially with what happened tonight. He's going to have that kind of fury behind him of like, this kind of really screwed me this tonight. I'm going to find my way back to the front.
Yeah.
And I mean, I won't say it will happen, but I feel like there could certainly be a case for him to go into Phoenix and not give up the lead and just kind of basically show everyone why he's going for a 3-peat.
And it brings me back to we're Lane Hostlers. We're riding with him here in 4th as we're getting close to the final laps here with 2 to go with Collins out front. But real quick with Lane Hostler right there along with him. Hostler had that bad season last season. He's had to bounce back. So it's a mental game, too. Can Ross Tatum, he's had exceptional seasons the last 2 seasons. He's had an exceptional season this season. But now the big bad luck hit him tonight and hit him at the wrong time. He would probably like to seen it earlier in the season. But can he bounce back? And while we're talking, Van Scoot has made it around Ricky Hardin. So we'll see if these guys are going to battle as we're getting closer to the white flag. Parker Collins is going to take that. And unless Parker Collins out front I'm going to say messes up, I don't know, but Ricky Hardin right now might be just settling in and saying, you know what, I've got 3rd, which is still, Jordan, that's an incredible feat to come from last all the way up here. White flag one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking here now, Tatum has actually also dropped 2 more spots, so went from 30th there for a little while down to 32nd. And that actually is going to give these guys even more of a little bit of space above. Oh, looks like Kerry got the wall. Parker Collins.
Not what the leader wants to see.
That almost changed everything, and that almost changed everything in a blink of an eye again.
2 turns left for that man right there, Parker Collins, to punch himself, take it to the final 4 here. Done everything to do pit stop strategy-wise. A little bit of bad luck there for Ross Tatum tonight. But out of turn 4, Parker Collins is going to be the man here at Indianapolis here for the Clean Racing League and hold him off and punch himself into that final 4. But the story tonight's got to be here. 2nd and 3rd place, Charles Van Scoot and Ricky Hardin. I mean, Charles Van Scoot started out front. He was actually on pole tonight. Well, it's one place he was started in 3rd. But Ricky Hardin started dead last to get to 3rd. Those 2 guys now have a legitimate shot going into Phoenix to be in that final 4. Lane Hostler brings home in 4th there. And we just talked about it. You mentioned Ross Tatum, 32nd here tonight. So, man, just a crucial night here. And what a way to flip the points up, as we will definitely see a wild one going into Phoenix. So we can't get some of these guys up here and get a word with them. But, man, that script right there was just, wow.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking here at it correctly, it looks like I know some of these names are still uppercased, and I'm trying to decipher who's in the playoffs or who's not. It looks like the top 5 at least, all currently in the playoffs still.
Yes, they are.
Top five, all
Joshua,
are all
Jacob,
playoff guys.
Yeah, so you actually got 7 and 8 Altus Grants there. I think so that's Curtis was the other one, I believe.
So you got Parker Collins, Lane Hosler, Jacob Grant, Jordan Trask, Ricky Harden, Charles Van Schaik, and Joshua Altus finishing in 7th. So all those guys except for Evan Kinney, all the playoff drivers except for I know Evan Kinney's right here in P6, but finishing in the top 8, and then you got Tatum all the way down in 32nd. So
Evan's out of it.
This guy's going to score some. Oh, did I look at it wrong?
Yeah, I'll bring it up here for the folks so they can see it really quick. Actually, it's right now. You got Ross Tatum, you got Lane Hosler, Parker Collins, Jacob Grant. Then, coming into this race outside would have been Jordan Trask, Ricky Harden, Charles Van Scoit, and then Joshua Altus would have been round out the top 8 as of right now.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just one of those things. All the guys that Tatum is going against had solid finishes here. And it's going to really mix this thing up and kind of, I mean, it's just like throwing it in a blender and just saying, here, have at it.
All right, well, let me get a word with some of these guys up here. Ricky, Joe, the move, got a copy.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Joe?
Man, first off, I got to ask, because I didn't get any word or anything, did you have a penalty that you wasn't able to qualify?
No, I really choked in qualifying, grabbed a little piece of the wall, and ended up having to start in the back. So worked my way up.
Yeah, my next question is did you ever think that you're going to be here in 3rd and now going into the final race here to have a shot? I mean, you're a legitimate shot in that final 4.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was going to be able to qualify in the top 5 there and then execute the saving strategy and be there at the end. And I think starting at the back really handicapped me in that way. And I was struggling behind some traffic early, but I got really great fuel numbers back there. So I just tried to work my way up. I made a lot of mistakes, though. I popped the wall a couple of times and got slowed up on pit entry one or two times. And I just didn't do a very good job managing tires. I was great on fuel, but I couldn't keep the tires under me.
So what now? Now, I mean, because I know the whole outlook's changed for you. What now is your game plan going into Phoenix?
Well, Phoenix is arguably one of my worst tracks. I just don't do well there, and I knew I needed to get out of here with a great finish,
how
preferably
worse could you do
a win.
than being in last place, man?
Yeah. So Phoenix. If I could get out of there with a top 10, maybe we can transfer. But everybody had a really good night in the playoffs tonight outside of Ross. But Ross could go out there and win as easily as anybody next week. So we're just going to try to get out of there with a good night, and hopefully it's enough.
I'll tell you what, you got anybody you want to thank because you had a stellar one tonight, finishing off there in 3rd?
Yeah, the boys at the Loose is Fast podcast on the truck. Doing a great job out there with their podcast. Love to listen to it. SimRacingMerch.com, taking care of all your sim racing merch needs. And hey, everybody at Alloy Motorsports, all of my teammates down there, they really helped me through every night. David Bersicki, Joe Spinelli, Jordan Trask, Judson Curtis, everybody at Clean Racing League and at OSRN. Thank you, guys.
And there you go, Ricky Harden, man. Just a bounce back probably of the season right there, coming from dead last to 3rd, and he's got one more race to hopefully maybe put himself in here. And this is another guy that did something. Charles Van Scoit, Joey in the booth, got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, man, I tell you what, you started 3rd. You finished it off here tonight in 2nd, but it was a fuel mileage style race. And, you got a legitimate shot now to get in that Final 4 going into Phoenix.
Yeah, I feel good about it. The 2 tracks. I mean, if I do make it in the championship, it'll just be a consolation because I hate Homestead, but I think that's the final race. So these are 2 of my better tracks. So hopefully can get another top 5 next week and not have to watch and, like last week in Richmond, trying to get to this round, just watching and trying to stay in front of people and watching the relative wasn't fun. At a short track, if you miss your marks, you can end up in the wall pretty quick. So it was nice to be up here. Kind of gave away the win a little bit, but kind of rebounded. I mean, I wasn't going to do the fuel strategy until I was up there with Parker and Jacob in the first run, and smacked the wall. I had wheel damage, and I just had to commit to the fuel game to salvage a day.
Hey, and it paid off for you. Got that second place. Now going into Phoenix, what's kind of the game plan?
I run pretty good there. I'm pretty fast, good at tire conservation there, and God forbid it falls into a fuel strategy. That's where I'm strongest at. So if it falls into a fuel strategy, I'll be doing that. It sucks for Raw. I mean, he's got a big lead anyway, so I'm sure he'll probably doesn't even need to be a winning in next week. Ross probably would have won this race hands down if he didn't get a packet loss. So I'll take the extra spot with him being out, and Parker was going to probably get in regardless, so it really doesn't affect much. But Phoenix is definitely hit your marks, take care of your stuff, because the second that those tires go away, it becomes a whole different track, and it just wants to come up and bite you on the wall. So should be fun.
No doubt about it. You got anybody want to thank those for a stellar night?
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys for the broadcast, always love watching it. The admins of the Clean Racing League, my teammates down there at Term 1 Heroes. You got Seth, Mike, and Scott, and then we also have Seth's wife Samantha in there spotting and giving us information. So it's a little bit of a big team effort down there. I appreciate them sharing all the information with them not being, doing some practice laps and giving me some information to help me out, even though they're not in the playoffs. And it's good teammates, and I appreciate them.
Well, there you go. Charles Vanscoy bringing her home in second tonight with Parker Collins putting it in victory lane. Parker, join the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Well, man, I tell you what, at what point, though, in the race did you feel like, well, I hope I got enough fuel to make it. I've got the right pit strategy. And then we know this race just had a whole different turn when Ross dropped out of it. But then at that point, did you say, hey, I could win this thing?
I mean, honestly, I kind of knew I had a shot to win it during the middle of that cycle before the last. I caught about the leaders as they were starting their last pit stop, and I just knew at that point that I was going to have the speed to get there. I just didn't know if I was going to be able to get to Ross in time, but unfortunately he dropped out, which really sucks. You hate to see your competition get taken out in such a weird way like that, and as it is in sim racing. But yeah, it was just a great night. I didn't know exactly what my strategy was going to be in the beginning. I kind of wanted to pit at lap 25 and 50 and get to the end that way, but I realized kind of halfway through the first run there that wasn't going to happen, so I had to switch, and we battled hard there with Jacob. So that was, I don't like to battle that hard, but clean air was going to be more important than giving that up, so I made sure to battle a little harder than I usually would. So I know he's a little frustrated with that, but that's just part of it. Clean air was king tonight, and it paid off in the long run.
Absolutely, and like you said, man, the clean air paid off for you tonight. Now, got a monkey off your back. You punch yourself ticket into the Final Four, going into Homestead. Now, what does this bring up about going into Phoenix next week?
I mean, just like it was last week at Richmond, just go out there and trophy hunt. I've never really enjoyed Phoenix. I haven't really figured out the best way to get around there, especially in turns 1 and 2. It's just such a weird set of corners, and for whatever reason, I haven't ever been able to figure it out. But yeah, it's just really cool to not have to go in there and stress about points. I know Wayne on Only Dads, he's in a good spot now, but I know he's gonna run really well, and but he's gonna have that pressure, and I'm not. So it's gonna be fun to just kind of go out there and maybe roll the dice a little bit if it presents itself, and yeah, just put in a little extra work to prepare ourselves for Miami.
There you go. Like I said, maybe play a little spoiler for the win next week. Hey, you got anybody you want to thank because you put in victory lane this week?
Yeah, just all the guys over at Only Dads. They do such awesome work throughout the week. I can't thank those guys enough for bringing me on board and giving me the tools that they've given me to be even quicker than I am. you guys for putting on a great show. It's always fun to go back and watch after the race. Chris, Jacob, Fred, all those guys who put on this league. Such an awesome league. I've said it every time I've been up here, but this league is one of the best on sim racing, and I don't think it's really even that close. All my friends and family watching tonight, and special shout out to my wife. She's got a birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday, babe.
Good birthday present to her there for the win tonight. Punch yourself in the Final Four for the playoffs again. Congratulations there, Parker Collins.
Thanks, sir.
There we go. Well, let's look at the final run in order here tonight, because, man, it just was one that we just didn't even know how it was going to come about. As the man out there, Parker Collins, he punts himself in that ticket to the Final Four and wins it tonight. Charles Manscoit, though, outside looking in, he's got a shot to get into the Final Four. But the man, I got to really say, finishing third from dead last to third, Ricky Harden, now has got a very good shot of getting into that Final Four going into Phoenix. Lane Hostler finishing up there in fourth, Jordan Trask in fifth, Evan Kinney finishing off in sixth. We got Joshua Altus there in seventh, Jacob Grant in eighth. Halo Smith finishing off in ninth. Matthew Dyer there in 10th. Mike Kelly and Scott Simley 11th and 12th. Jordan Trask going to be in the van there in the 13th place spot. And we look a little further on back down the field here, as you've got Adrian Ghost finishing 14th. Danny White 15th. Martin in the 16th. Murphy in the 17th. Seth Fowley finishing 18th. Crank Bell there in 19th. Jeremy Moyer in 20th. They got Nathan Brown there in 21st. David Persiski, he's there in 22nd. Steve Gerber, 23rd, 24th spot. And the man right there sitting in Justin Carey, 25th, we got Joe Spinelli. 26th, Kenyon Jackson. 27th, we got Chris Smith. 28th, go Bob Stevens. 29th, Jamie LaRock. 30th, Frank Garcia. Eric Anderson up in 31st. And Ross Tatum there in 32nd, who just disconnecting and coming in here, leading his points. But, man, now he's got his work cut out for him going into Phoenix. And Jordan Brock will unfortunately finish there in 32nd, and Joshua Gillian not starting in on this one tonight. But, Jordan, I know you would have loved to have been out there racing the rest of it. I appreciate you coming up here in the booth, man, talking out. But, man, you know, what a head spinner here this one was. I never would have thought we'd come out here and say Ross Tatum is in danger of not making the Final Four.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not something you ever think to hear. He's one of those guys that you just kind of expect him to be a lock to be in the Final Four, regardless. But, it's one of those things we can't control, internet. And, I always say that they're the mechanical malfunctions, like the engine blowing or something that, we can't actually have in iRacing. That's what I just chalk them up as, those kind of mechanical issues. But, everybody's going to be 1 to 2 points away from each other here going into Phoenix, right at that cut line. And, I mean, for Parker Collins, it's got to be a great feeling to not have to worry about any of that.
Absolutely. Going to be a thriller, folks. Next week, we go to Phoenix. That's the last race of the round of 8, and then we set the field for the Final Four. Going to Homestead. Who's going to be the champ? Who's not? It was a good one here at Indianapolis. And for myself and everyone, have a good night.